Hey, Broken Home Podcast has a really good question. And once again, Lonzo was on his show. Go to Broken Home Podcast, and it's literally the last two videos. Great interview with our very own Alonzo Williams. But Broken Home Podcast wants to know, he says, I got a question, Dusty. I'm listening to Lonzo's book, and he mentions Jerry Heller. He also mentioned the boys did not have financial literacy. And then he goes on to ask, was Jerry as bad a character as the movie made him out to be?
I don't think, well, understand this. Damn, how can I say this? If a pimp finds some hoes, get your money.
You can't say it any better.
If a pimp finds some hoes, get your money. And me and Unknown has had this debate before. And, well, he should have been, no. It's not his job to protect them. His job is here's the cold part about the music game. That's the part that I kind of stayed away from simply because I did not want that reputation. If you don't educate a motherfucker if you educate somebody and he still does something stupid, it's on him. Me in my position, I live in the hood. Everybody knows what I live at. Everybody sees me in the streets. I can't afford to pull a Jerry Heller. I might go into the store. I might be at Del Taco. I might be at Starbucks. And I see cats that I've been knowing. Saturday at Radiotron, I saw guys I hadn't seen in 35 years and did not recognize because they didn't change so much. Last time I saw him, he was a little chubby kid. So when you live the way Lonzo lived versus the way Jerry Heller lived, you understand the concept. So what I'm saying is, he could afford to play those games. He had signed this contract, and by the time you realize it was good like Morgan. But by the time
that organ, baby, let's go to church.
But by the time you heard by the time you realized that it was too late, it was too late. Okay? By the time you did what you did, it was already over with. And that's the part that people win on. Because when you sign a contract, once that contract is signed, it's pretty much a done deal. No matter how bad it is. It's as bad as the contract was for TLC. They still had to abide by it. They ain't make no money. They got a platinum album, multi-platinum album on tour, and they ain't got no money, driving Hondas and shit. They signed a bad deal. Once you put your name on that contract, the deal is done. Unless you're a minor, the judge ain't gonna do shit. It's the same thing here. Only person had the wherewithal to take care of his business properly was Ice Cube. Ice Cube said, I'm not signing shit until I see a lawyer. All right. And that's when he became the oddball because everybody else signed. And this is when the mob mentality can kick in and cost you. You take the pressure from your boys. Everybody else has signed up for the okie doke, whatever it may be. You get a pile of money and a pile of paperwork, but the paperwork takes your future money away from you because you got this pile in your hand right now. Remember in the movie Straight Outta Compton? Dre was told Q, hey man, I got kids, I got responsibilities, I got to take the deal. Okay, he saw the cheese, he saw the cheese on the trap, and that trap can come in various fucking ways. It could be a paper contract, it could be a big money deal, a big quick money deal. Go across the town, man. Just like Stevie Wonder's record. Take this across the street, young man. Take this package across the street. You got the time. So understand. And like my man Tony ATK7 says, more robberies have been committed with big pens than Smith & Wesson pistols.
Ooh.
More robberies have been committed with a big pen than a Smith & Wesson pistol. Okay? Or should I say, more robberies have been committed with a number 2 pistol than a 9mm. And that's how the game goes. So was he a bad dude? He may not have been the most ethical businessman. I can't even call it that. Here's the paperwork. You gonna sign it or what? If you say yeah, then you signed it. And understand this: anytime somebody gives you the contract, anything, the first contract is going to be always be in their favor. It's going to be all the way in their fucking favor. You ain't got in the first piece of paper, first paperwork, it's going to be all their favor, whether it be a cell phone contract, a credit card contract, or whatever you sign, it's going to be in their fucking favor. And most people don't take the time or will not take the time to negotiate a credit card contract. I don't know if you can, but most people, nobody ever. I don't know nobody ever did it before. I heard it could be done. I don't know nobody did it. Well, I'm just saying. So if somebody gives you a recording contract, the first piece of paper, they're gonna ask you for everything: your name and likeness, your publishing, your firstborn, all that shit. You sign it away. That means you agreed to it. Ask the Indians when they sold America Manhattan for some pearls. I mean, what they pay for Manhattan Island?
Yeah, $11 or something like that.
Something like that. Okay, and they ain't got the motherfucker back yet. That's what you agreed to. He paid you, yes. Well, shit, I can't undo it. You know what? Isaiah just hit me.
All right, man. This is a great question.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Isaiah. Yeah. Cadillac Records. Let's read this question then, because this is great.
I was watching Cadillac.
I love it. He says, let's read it for the audience. Isaiah says, Lonzo, please touch on Cadillac Records. Very powerful movie about everything you're talking about.
Well, it was perfect example. When Homeboy left the radio station and proclaimed his loyalty to his Homeboy's record company, he gave him two things: a contract and a Cadillac. He gave him a contract and a Cadillac. Okay, he thought he had done him a favor. The trap had been set. The trap had been set. All them hit records was going against that Cadillac. All them hit records. He kept on coming back for money. He'd give him a check. He'd give him some money. And when Lil Walter died, they thought he should pay for it. I mean, Lil Walter died, and I think they asked the homeboy from Cadet Records to pay for, not Cadet Records, whatever it was, the company to pay for it. And Howlin' Wolf was like, "No, we'll take care of our own." Okay? Because he had an old raggedy truck, but he had a wad of money. He never went for the trap. He offered him a trap. He said, "Hey, man, you want your new car?" "No, I like my old truck. It's paid for. It's mine." Okay? And that was that was a perfect example of somebody not falling for the trap. Perfect example. Everybody else fell into the trap. Only person that came out pretty good on that deal that I can recall was Etta James. Y'all don't know this. Dusty, I'm gonna tell you because you know where I live at. Where I live at right now, if I walk 100 yards, 150 yards, I'd be in the house where Etta James, Homeboy gave Etta James. It's on my block. It's 150 yards from my house right now. They recently sold it, but that same house where she said, "He loved me. He bought me a house." That house is on my corner. Yes, sir. Real talk.
Classic movie, man. Classic. Yeah, and it's crazy that kids are still falling into this trap and signing these record deals and not doing their due diligence. I mean, we talked about that famous video of someone asking Blueface about his contract, and he looked around the room like, "Oh, I don't know." It's crazy that we're still, with all this information that we have right here on our phone too, dude.
Glamour is blinding. Fame is blinding. The potential for being a star and getting attention is blinding. And my daddy say with he calls a co-signer a fool with a pen. Same thing. If you know what you're doing when it comes to your record company, record contracts, you're a fool with a pen. If you go sign that contract without your lawyer being involved, you're just a fool with a pen. Because you look up and everybody's children will be living off the shit that you made. That's the difference between West Coast acts and hip hop and East Coast acts. Most of us still own our masters. Most of us still own our publishing. None of them own their masters. None of them. They still perform, but they don't own their masters. Because we had to become record companies. We had to learn the game from the ground up. They came in as artists. They came in as artists. It's a whole different perspective. You know, they may get paid from their writer's shares or their publishing if they still own the if they ever own the publishing. But guys like me, Egypt, Unknown, we do our own licensing deals. We do our own publishing deals. I get checks. I get a deposit every week from somebody, from something. But now that shit has changed. So if you don't have those rights, somebody else get that money from something else. Oh, dude, this is a cold game, dude. And you look up and you be mad at something. Be the old folks when somebody, all that money, all them hits that you made, somebody else get paid on them. You make you want to roll down there and whoop somebody's ass.